Have you ever wondered why dogs eat the strangest things? If you've ever watched your dog eat grass like it's a salad, chew on plastic, or suddenly do something far worse in the backyard, you're not alone. And no, your dog isn't broken. It isn't dumb. And in many cases, it isn't even sick. What looks disturbing or irrational to humans often makes sense inside a dog's instincts and biology. Dogs don't experience the world the way we do. They don't judge food by appearance. They judge it by smell, texture, and instinct. Today, we're going to explain why dogs eat grass, poop, and things they can't digest like plastic, what these behaviors actually mean, and when they're harmless versus when they signal a real problem. Some of these behaviors are completely normal and harmless. Others can send dogs into emergency surgery within hours. And the reason so many owners panic is because all of these behaviors get lumped together under the same idea: that something is wrong with the dog. But reacting with fear, anger, or punishment often makes the situation worse. Dogs don't connect discipline with digestion or instinct. They only connect it with stress. And stress is one of the biggest drivers behind many of these behaviors in the first place. To understand what's really happening, we have to stop thinking like humans who choose what to eat, and start thinking like animals shaped by survival, scent, and routine. Because once you understand the reason behind the behavior, it stops feeling random. It starts to make sense. And that understanding is what allows owners to respond correctly instead of emotionally. Now let's start with the behavior almost every dog owner has seen at least once: grass eating. Despite what many people believe, most dogs do not eat grass because they're sick. This idea is common, but it isn't strongly supported by research. In fact, studies have shown that fewer than 1 in 4 dogs vomit after eating grass, and even fewer show signs of illness before they start grazing. So if dogs aren't trying to make themselves throw up, why do they do it? Part of the answer lies in evolution. Dogs didn't evolve eating clean, prepared meals the way they do today. Their ancestors consumed entire prey animals. That included fur, bone, and the partially digested plant matter found inside their prey's stomachs. Over thousands of years, this exposure to plant material became normal for canine digestion. Grass may still trigger that instinct. It can add rough fiber to the diet. It can stimulate gut movement. And for some dogs, it simply satisfies a natural urge to chew and explore textures. Another important detail is taste. Fresh grass contains moisture and trace nutrients, and for some dogs, it's simply appealing. For many healthy dogs, grass eating isn't a warning sign. It's just a behavior carried forward from instincts that no longer have a clear purpose in modern life. Another reason dogs eat grass, which many owners overlook, is boredom. Dogs explore the world primarily through their mouths. Their teeth and jaws are designed to investigate textures, smells, and even taste. So when a dog spends time in a quiet yard or an empty apartment, grass can quickly become something to chew on. It's not about hunger, it's about engagement. Some dogs develop a habit simply because chewing feels good. Others may find it calming, especially if they are alone or anxious. It's also important to address a common myth. Dogs eat grass to make themselves vomit. While it does happen occasionally, the majority of dogs eat grass without any ill effects. Vomiting is not the primary purpose, and punishing a dog for this behavior is unnecessary and often confusing for them. Grass eating can even be a minor source of enrichment. Some owners intentionally sprinkle safe, edible plants in the yard to give dogs something safe to nibble, which can reduce more dangerous chewing behaviors like eating plastic or socks. The key detail, though, is frequency. Occasional grass eating is completely normal. Constant or obsessive grazing, especially if paired with vomiting, diarrhea, or weight loss, signals that it might be time to consult a veterinarian. Understanding the reason behind this behavior helps owners respond calmly rather than panicking or assuming their dog is sick. Poop eating, or coprophagia, is one of the behaviors that shocks most dog owners. To us, it seems disgusting, but to dogs, it is often normal, or at least understandable. In the wild, mother dogs cleaned their dens by eating the waste of their puppies. This reduced the scent of predators and helped keep the den safe. Puppies learned this behavior from their mother, long before they understood what food really is. Many puppies grow out of it naturally, but some dogs carry the behavior into adulthood. Another reason dogs eat poop is nutritional. If food passes through the gut too quickly or isn't fully digested, it can still smell like food to a dog. Dogs are driven by scent more than appearance or taste. That means partially digested nutrients in feces can seem appealing to them. Stress and anxiety can also play a role. Dogs in confined spaces, or those left alone for long periods, may eat feces as a way to soothe themselves. In some cases, it's a sign that the dog feels insecure or is trying to attract attention. Some medical conditions, such as enzyme deficiencies or malabsorption issues, can also cause coprophagia. That's why sudden onset in adult dogs should never be ignored. While puppies may do it as part of learning, adult dogs often have a more serious reason. Understanding these causes is key. Punishing the dog rarely works. In fact, it often makes the behavior worse because stress and fear can reinforce it. Instead, observation, diet adjustments, and enrichment are far more effective strategies. But here's the part most people never hear. When poop eating starts suddenly in adult dogs, it's usually not just a behavioral quirk or bad habit. Adult-onset coprophagia often signals something deeper, sometimes a medical issue, sometimes stress, or even dietary imbalance. For example, a dog with insufficient digestive enzymes may not absorb nutrients properly. Their body may crave those nutrients in any form it can find, including feces. Other times, an adult dog might develop the habit after a change in environment, like moving homes, a new pet, or even a change in schedule. Punishing the dog for this behavior almost never works. Dogs do not connect punishment with digestion or instinct. They only connect it with stress or fear. And that stress can actually make the behavior worse. This is why understanding the why is so important. Instead of reacting with frustration, owners can respond with observation and care, identifying triggers, monitoring health, and providing alternatives. Now, once we understand poop eating, we can move to the most dangerous category of all: dogs swallowing objects they shouldn't, like plastic, socks, or toys. When dogs eat plastic, socks, toys, or other non-food objects, the behavior is called paika, and it's rarely about hunger. In most cases, dogs don't eat these items because they want to. They do it because their instincts, stress, or curiosity drive them. Plastic, for example, doesn't smell like plastic to a dog. It often carries the scent of their owners or the environment. Wrappers, bottles, and even socks hold traces of oils, sweat, and familiar smells. To a dog, this makes these objects interesting and sometimes comforting. Puppies may explore by chewing and swallowing as part of teething. Adult dogs may do it for stimulation if they're bored or understimulated. And stressed or anxious dogs may use chewing and swallowing as a way to self-soothe. Owners often notice this behavior when they leave their dogs alone for a while. Some dogs start by chewing objects and eventually swallow them, creating a dangerous habit. The real danger is that these objects cannot be digested. Swallowing plastic or fabric can block the intestines, cause choking, or require emergency surgery. Understanding why your dog does this is key. Once you know the cause, whether it's boredom, stress, or a medical issue, you can take steps to redirect their behavior safely. So when should owners start to worry? Grass eating once in a while is normal. Most dogs do it occasionally and show no signs of distress. Poop eating in puppies is also common and usually harmless, especially if they are still learning from their mother. But repeated ingestion of non-food objects, plastic, socks, rocks, or toys, is a red flag. It becomes particularly dangerous when paired with other signs like vomiting, lethargy, diarrhea, constipation, or sudden changes in appetite. These are signals that your dog's body is struggling to process what it's swallowing, or that stress or anxiety has reached a level that could harm their health. Medical issues such as digestive enzyme deficiencies, nutritional imbalances, or even behavioral disorders can all contribute. This is the point where observation alone is not enough. Consulting a veterinarian is important because timely intervention can prevent serious complications like intestinal blockage, infection, or surgery. Understanding when a behavior is normal and when it's dangerous can save your dog's life, and help you respond calmly rather than with panic or punishment. So when you think about it, all of this strange eating behavior actually makes sense. From ancient instincts, to digestion, to stress, curiosity, and scent. Your dog isn't being gross, they're being a dog. And if you ever catch your dog chewing something they absolutely shouldn't, remember this. They're not trying to scare you. They're trying to understand their world the only way they know how. Which, honestly, says more about how they experience life than anything else. And if your dog has never eaten grass, poop, or anything strange, and you've always wondered why, don't worry. That behavior makes sense too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I suddenly feel like I should double check what my dog has been chewing on today.